Hello friends, today our topic is meaning of yoga. Meaning, what is a meant by a word, text, concept or action is called meaning. Of expressing the relationship between a part and a whole is called of. Yoga. Yoga is a group of physical, mental, and spiritual practices or disciplines which originated in ancient India is called yoga. The liberal meaning of word yoga is yoke. Liberal, will to respect, meaning concept or action. Word means term yoga. Yoga is a group of physical, mental, and spiritual practices or disciplines which originated in ancient India is called yoga. Is yoke. A yoke is a device across the shoulders of humans or animals is called yoke. It means for uniting the individual spirit with the universal spirit or God. It means used to identify a person, uniting, bring together for a common purpose or action is called uniting. Individual spirit. The human spirit is a component of human philosophy, psychology, art, and knowledge. The spiritual or mental part of humanity is called individual spirit. With the universal spirit, Om, the internals and spiritual principle that permeates the universe is called universal spirit or God, the creator and ruler of the universe and source of all moral authority. The supreme being is called God. The word yoga is derived from the roots of Sanskrit word juj, which means to join, to attach, to bind, and yoke, and to concentrate on one's attentions. Yoga means yoga is a group of physical, mental, and spiritual practices or disciplines which originated in ancient India, derived, obtained something from. Roots, the origin, the basic cause. Sanskrit word juj. As per the yogic scriptures, the practice of yoga leads to union of individual consciousness with that of the universal consciousness is called Sanskrit word juj, which means to join, means to explain the meaning clearly and completely, to attach, to join, where two or more things are connected. To attach means joined, to bind, and yoke. To bind means tie or fasten tightly together. Yoke is a device borne across the shoulder of humans or animals is called yoke. And to concentrate on one's attention, concentrate, focus on all one's attention on a particular object, on one's relating to attention, awareness. It also means yoga. It also means as well union, the action of joining together. Yoga is a true union of our will with the will of God. Yoga is a Sanskrit word derived from the Sanskrit root juj, which means to connect, is called yoga, is the true in accordance with the effect. Union, the action of joining together of our will, a legal declaration of a person with the will of God means the will of God, divine will or God's plan is the concept of God having plan for humanity is called with the will of God. In Indian culture or thought, human beings or everyone on this earth is guided by the supreme universal spirit that is Paramatma or God, of which the individual human spirit that is Jivatma is a part. In Indian cultures means the culture of India refers collectively to the thousands of distinct and communities present in India is called in Indian cultures thought and idea. Human beings, they have a high capacity for abstract thinking and or community thought to possesses a spirit or soul which transcends the physical body is called human beings. Everyone means every body on this earth has the planet that you live on or dirt and mud. Guided means how to do something difficult by the supreme by the supreme indicating the means of activity something supreme universal spirit. Hinduism, Brahman, in its aspect as the sacred syllable Om, the eternal and spiritual principle that permeates the universe, is called by the supreme universal spirit. Paramatma is the absolute Atma or supreme self in various philosophies such as Vedanta and yoga schools in Hindu, the theology as well as Indian religions like Sikhism is called a Paramatma. Yoga is a way to Paramatma or God, of which the individual human spirit, God, spirit that people believe has a power over a particular part of nature is called God, of which to ask somebody. Individual means human being, a single person. Human spirit includes our intellect, emotions, fears, passions, and creativity is called human spirit. That is Jivatma, means in Hinduism the Jiva is a living being. Yoga is a way to secure liberation or moksha because it is the means by which the Jiva Atma can be united to the Paramatma. Yoga is a way to secure. Yoga is way to secure means yoga is an art which connects our soul, mind and body, and a number of health benefits is called yoga is a way to secure. Liberation, the action of setting someone free from the imprisonment or slavery is called liberation. Moksha in Hinduism and Jainism, release from the cycle of rebirth impelled by the law of karma is called moksha. Because for that reason it means by which the Jiva Atma, it is the means a method of doing something, why which means which if it is true. Jivatma in Hinduism, the Jiva is a living being. can be united means produced by joint action or a united effort. Paramatma is the absolute Atma or supreme self in various philosophies such as Vedanta and yoga schools, in Hindu theology as well as Indian religions like Sikhism is called a Paramatma. Yoga is a wisdom in work or skillful living amongst activities, harmony and moderations. Yoga is a wisdom means yoga is a path of attaining knowledge of the true nature of reality through the practice of meditation, self inquiry, and contemplations. Produce is called yoga is a wisdom in work to produce a result. Skillful having showing expertness is called skillful. Living amongst activities, living the pursuit of living style. Amongst activities, the condition in which things are happening. Harmony means having the ability to handle life's different areas and make them work for your progress is called harmony. Moderations means the avoidance of excess. The yogis, by the grace of the Spirit within him, finds fulfillment when the restlessness of the mind, intellect, and self is stilled through the practice of yoga. The yogis by the grace of Spirit means when restlessness of the mind, intellect, and self is stilled through the practice of yoga. The yogis by the grace of Spirit within himself finds fulfillment, then he knows the joy of an eternal which is beyond the pale of the senses is called by the grace of Spirit within him finds fulfillment. When the restlessness of the mind means when, at what time. Restlessness, a restless mind is something that keeps on thinking about anything. If you sit quiet for a moment, these thoughts will come into your minds is called restlessness mind. Intellect means it is a state of curiosity and challenging our own thoughts and opinions is called restlessness. Intellect self stilled, undisturbed. Through the practice of yoga means practice of yoga leads to the union of individual consciousness with that of the universal consciousness is called through the practice of yoga. Then he feels joy eternal which is beyond the pale of senses. Then he feels joy internal which is beyond the pale of senses means happiness can be either feeling or showing, meaning that happiness is not necessarily an internal or external. It means an action that regarded as outside the limits of acceptable behavior, one that objectionable or improper. He finds means to become aware. The treasure above all others. Treasures means keep carefully. Precious metal above all others. Particular thing is more important than other things. There is nothing higher than this. There is nothing means surrounded by empty. higher than this to be a great degree. He who has achieved it, he who has means male one who is neither speech nor speak or nor hear. Treasure means keep carefully or precious metal. It shall not be moved by the greatest sorrow. By the greatest sorrow. So we can say, so he who has achieved it means what we set out to do. Shall not be means living for tomorrow. Moved by the greatest sorrow. Moved by greatest sorrow means a cause of grief or sadness. He moved away to forget his sorrows, or a feeling of regret is called by moved the greatest of sorrow. So we can say means what will happen in the future. The real meaning of yoga means the word yoga is derived from the Sanskrit root juj, meanings juj, deliverance means set free, contact, touch with pain and sorrow. Pain is an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience associated with tissue damage, or just a physical sensation is called pain. Sorrow, a feeling of